Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted episode 170. We're getting closer and closer to 200, guys, and I think we're going to have a celebratory episode when we do that. Anyway, we are coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen to us on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and basically wherever you listen to your favorite shows, we are there. I am, of course, your host, Bison, and today I am joined by the man simply known as the Joker, and of course, our resident DJ, nightclub specialist, LimpstarUK. Hey, Craig, how's it going?
Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good.
How about
What
you?
an intro, man.
Very good, thank you. Got a special guest appearance from Susie and Sammy.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, listen, boys. Now, I don't know whether everyone realised, but we started off with a brand spanking new intro, did we not?
Yes.
We did, and we've got a new logo as well. Yes, we've got a new impacted logo. If you saw it, it's obviously based loosely on the TNA logo, but of course in the UK colours. If you missed it, I think we should play it again because I think it's really cool. So play it again. Play it again.
Yes, give you guys another taste, and this is where
Come
I play
on.
the old
Give
intro.
you a taster. Give you a taster of the intro. Hey, I'm loving it. I think that's pretty cool. Hey, I think that's pretty cool.
I was just about to start one-man mosh pit.
Is that right? All of that footage, guys, if anyone's interested, all of that footage I took at the UK shows, apart from one bit. If you see the bit where the crowd shot, you might notice that that's actually Luke Gallows walking across there. That was from Emergence last year when I went to the Chicago. When I went to Chicago and I went to Emergence, I took that footage then, but all the rest of it was from the UK tour.
It's all your footage. It's all your footage.
It is all my footage. It's all my footage. But,
hopefully, no issues there. So, so people wonder why Diana Price is in the intro. That's because it's from Bison's footage in Coventry.
There you go. See, and that was actually that was where she was. Go on. Sorry.
Makes me wish I was there. It makes me wish I was there even more every time I'm seeing that now.
Fair dues. No, so obviously, that was her. When she was literally kneeing in the face Alex Winter in that clip, which I thought was really, really cool. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about the new intro and, of course, the new logo. And I'm going to do a big shout out there with regards to the logo because the logo was done by One of the Dead, who does a lot of the TNA wrestlers' shirts, the ones that are on the TNA.
I am the greatest.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Gianna. I appreciate that. So he does all of that. So I want to do a big shout out to One of the Dead. Go and check him out. Actually, let me just. I'm just going to check what his Twitter handle is, because if you contact him via X. If you contact him via X for any designs, you could do T-shirts, logos, whatever. I wanted that logo that he's done for us to be specifically able so we can put it onto a T-shirt as well. So we're going to do a new T-shirt at some point for that as well. Let me just find his handle because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So let me just find it quickly. Good to know because sometimes hang on. Where is it?
It's a good logo though.
It's a cool logo. I'm proper happy with it. Okay. Hang on. I need to go to. I'm going to actually go to it so I can see it. At of the Dead 209. So at of the Dead 209. That's his. I mean, his obviously trade name is Of the Dead. He's a graphic designer. It's fantastic. He's done shirts for Impact, obviously TNA, AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, NWA, and of course many independent wrestler shirts as well. So go check him out. Of the Dead. He's got commissions open at the moment. He's got some space at the moment if anybody wants to get anything done. So it's at Of the Dead 209. If you want to put that in the comments below, Joe, that'd be great. And we then make sure that everyone gets to see that. We'll put it in the comments probably after the show, so it goes in the main comments down below. He's fantastic and definitely well worth going and checking his stuff out. He's done a fantastic one recently for he does Ace Austin shirts. He's done, so people that you might know, Sammy Callahan shirts. He actually did my shirt as well, the actual Bison shirt that I've got on that I've got on Pro Wrestling Tees /Total Nonstop Impact .com. If you go and check that out, got my Bison shirt on there. It's on there, but so it's like I say, our new logo, done a fantastic job, and I love the way we've sort of kind of like loosely based it on the new TNT, or the old revamped version of the TNA logo, but obviously in our colors. I think it looks great. I absolutely love it. I really do.
It's wicked.
Love the guy's work, but it's definitely worth going and checking him out. If you ever need anything done, whether it be logos, t-shirt design, he does the lot. Anything related to graphic design, he's your man. Go and check it out. I did promise him I would give him a mention. So, guys, how's your week's been? Let's start with Craig.
Just another one off the calendar. Eat, sleep, work, repeat. I think the highlight was watching some TNA.
Is that right?
The rest of it, you got the rough weather. You're dragging it out on the last few pence before payday and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I've been paid. I've lived like a millionaire for 24 hours. Now it's back to the suffering. Fair
dues. What about you, Joe? What about you?
It's been a very bumpy road. I've had a pretty good week. The odd seizure here and there, blackout earlier today, so if I'm not 100%, guys, do bear with me. And projects are still underway there, and they're coming along nicely for my YouTube stuff. I got the vote for what project you want me to do next on my YouTube channel closes today. If you go on Twitter or X and check out my profile before about say 8 o'clock or so probably will be closing in about an hour, but it looks like you'll be seeing the Stick of Truth from South Park coming onto my YouTube channel.
I love it.
I was vying for Destroy All Humans or BioShock remastered, but people have voted for the Stick of Truth. So,
okay. Well, there you go. That's what it's going to be then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just got to choose. I'm not going to spoil which class I'm going to be because that's a surprise.
Oh, mate, fair enough. Right, can I just do a quick shout out? So Eric's in the house, Mir's in the house, so good to see you. Simon Plum's in the house, which is good. Obviously, you guys join us you're always there at the top of the show. I love it. You're always with us at the top. It's perfect. But guys, listen, if you're there and you're watching, because we know that there's a few more than are in the chat right now, then make sure you say hello, because we love it. We love when you say hello. You know what I mean? But Brother Paul, a shout out to Paul Nelson. Obviously passed away this week. A real shame. Big TNI fan, tuned into every show every week. But we love you, brother. Take care. And also, while we're on the people passing, it literally came out about an hour ago that Virgil's obviously passed as well.
Yeah.
So condolences to his family and friends, and of course, Anderson as well has passed this week too. So condolences to his family at this sad time.
I didn't know about Virgil.
Yeah, mate. Literally.
Just a second.
Oh my God! What's going on? What's going on?
It's the Virgil news. The Virgil news hit the dog really bad.
Hit him bad, real bad. Yeah, so yeah, sad news. Some especially for I love Virgil. I absolutely love Virgil.
Every other time he can push the door open, but he couldn't do it this time.
He was going a bit nuts there, mate. Wasn't he? He's going a bit nuts.
Yeah,
There you go. Hopefully, he will make an appearance a little bit later.
No, I will kick the door in a minute. Yeah, he just tries to see he's come in.
Definitely. Right. Okay. So, guys, let's get cracking. Let's get into some of the the news, rumors, and of course the TNA.
You know, they have to shout out to Gail Kim and Ace Austin too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What for?
Yeah. Birthday shout out to,
of course, their birthday.
Ace Austin's birthday today.
Yeah.
Gail
okay.
Kim's
Well, that's fantastic. So, big shout out to TNA. Obviously, TNA long-term knockouts, not legend. Not only was she one of the original knockouts, but and the first. Was she the first? I think she was, wasn't she? Was she the first?
She was the first ever knockouts champion.
First knockouts champion. Yeah, definitely. And of course, the current head of the creative side of the knockouts, which is fantastic and it's great to see. And of course, Ace Austin. Now, I was looking. I think Austin's been with us now for about 5 years. Am I right, or is it 6 years? It might be 6.
2018.
So it's been a while.
It's been about six years. Yeah.
Yeah. People say that the TNA roster never re-signed. Well, it definitely has.
Ace Austin. Jordan Grace.
I'll tell you about Ace Austin, and Jordan Grace. They both had debut matches on, I believe it was called Explosion at the time, Impact Explosion, and that was at I'm going to forget the name of it, but it was in Queens, basically in New York, and
that would have been the Melrose Ballroom.
That's it, and I've actually got a selfie with Ace Austin, which was more hassle than you would believe, because he was with a friend and I went over and I went, Ace, and he was kind of like, he's like, yeah, like a bit shell shocked that, well, not that someone's recognized him, but I think it was just kind of because he was just stood at the back of the crowd and no one was bothering. I've gone over like, full Starboy, like, oh my God, I've gone, oh, can I get a picture of you? He's like, yeah, cool. And I passed my phone to his friend. And his friend was there, and I just said to his friend, I was like, you okay? Because he's holding my phone. He went, this is not an iPhone. And I was just like, no, it's an Android. And he's like, I can't take a picture on this. I'm just like, oh. So by that time, people have been like, oh my God, there's a wrestler at the back, and then started to hoard him. I have got a picture somewhere, but that was also, I seen Jordan Grace's first match in Impact, and by God, has she like advanced as a human being now?
She's looking amazing.
Completely different, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I mean, she was always I think she always had that potential. She was always a real solid performer. But then how she's grown since then to now is incredible. I mean, if you were to put her first match to say that Giselle match on at No Surrender, you'd be like, wow. You know what I mean? Amazing. Can I just say a quick hello to Dragonstorm? Keith's joined us now. Paul's joined us. Did I mention Keith? I did mention Keith. I think someone else is joining us as well. Let me have a quick gander. I like to mention everybody.
Yeah.
Dragonstone's in it. Yeah, Simon. So yeah, nice to see you guys joining us. Quick shout out also to my friend Katie Lou. She's watching as well. So nice to see her watching, which is great. And I know that we got quite a few of your buddies watching, Craig, haven't we?
Yeah. They dropped in the chat last week and that, and then a couple of them texted me and said, "Oh, what time are you on?" So I say 6-ish.
Yeah, awesome. We've got PWG Pro Wrestling Global. Hello, I'm trying to reach out to be friends again. I am very.
Oh, don't worry, Graham. You're good, mate.
Right.
You're welcome.
Is that who it is? Hey, Graham. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Don't worry, you're good, mate.
I was never not your friend, Graham. So there you go. Okay, so glad for you to join us. That's fantastic. Anyway, let's get into the show, man. Let's get into the show. So we've got Joe Hendry food fight featuring Inside the Ropes Kenny McIntosh. Of course, Inside the Ropes Kenny McIntosh is a pretty big deal recently. I believe he's gone. He does a lot of really cool stuff. he's a bit like he's sort of he's gone like from nothing to like massive in a very short space of time. But it's great to see him getting a little bit of recognition by Joe. Joe was on there and giving him a bit more of a push, which I think is pretty awesome. It looks like Simon believes. I know there's a lot of us that do, but we all believe, that's for sure. And of course, the man that is Joe Hendry. Good British.
I'll tell you what, I did watch this session of the food fight, and the amount of history that they had between each other even before he became like the star he is, was really nice to see. They were really this one is really worth a watch, and it was just so nice to see, and he worked with Joe Hendry just on the side, just to try. They were both building each other up to give each other momentum and everything. It was so cool. Good to see.
Yeah. Oh man, that is cool.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Awesome. Right, okay.
I will have that banned from diving soundbite ready, guys. I was working on it yesterday, but study black sieges went happen yesterday, and the siege happened earlier today. So
all good. It's all good.
But we will be getting the ban from diving. Don't worry, guys. I did not ignore that amazing music video. That did not go unnoticed. It
was good. It was good. Right, Dragonstorm. Pop that up. That's an interesting fact. Dragonstorm is putting up an interesting wrestling fact. Go and pop that up there. I missed Joey too, actually. No, that's the wrong one. Dragonstorm.
No,
there it is.
Chat scrolled down as soon as I clicked onto
Mustafa Ali is both the first Muslim and the first Pakistani to main event a TNA show and win a championship. How cool is that? That's a cool fact. I'm down with that. Adam's in the house. Adam Whitman. Nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I take it that's one of your buddies, Craig.
Oh yes, mate. Very, very good friend of mine.
Good. Great to see you, man. Thanks for joining.
Mate, we've been up to some mischief that I definitely can't say on air.
Okay. Let's talk about that afterwards, man. Let's talk about that afterwards. Right. Okay. So Explosion this week. Explosion results after a very good match. Mike Bailey defeats Jay Vidal. Now, do you know what? I'm liking Jay Vidal right now. You need to. I mean, if you're not watching Jay Vidal on Explosion, he's had a good couple of matches so far with some top talent, shown that he can go, man. He can go. It was a really good match. Have you seen Explosion this week, guys?
Not yet. No.
It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. This guy, Jay Vidal's doing amazing. I know he's, regardless of whether he's, lost or not, it was a really, really good match. We get Gia Miller goes around the ring with Mike Bailey after some usual shenanigans from Alpha Bravo and Proteus. I'm not calling him Oleg. I think Oleg sounds stupid. I'm just going to go with Proteus. All right. Dirty Dango defeats the Laredo Kid. So that's your two kind of fresh matches. I'm not even going to talk about the bit in the middle. But and the around the ring with Gia was pretty good as well. They were talking about hobbies and all sorts of stuff like that, which is quite cool. That you get to sort of kind of like you get to know them. You get to know some of the talents a bit better. I like it. What about you?
I've got to be honest. Yeah, I've got to be honest. Without fast forwarding ahead to what we're going to talk about later in the show, I would rather have seen Mike Bailey versus Vidal overseeing Con and PCO on that main card.
I know what you're saying.
Oh man, do you know what I mean? But the thing is like with Mike Bailey can sell a move. Mike Bailey can, push someone and stuff like that. It didn't look like he had to carry Vidal. Vidal really does have that quality there.
He's good.
And I think that they've overlooked that match a bit too easily. I think that could have made the main TNA show, to be fair.
Possibly. I think the trouble is though, because they've not put Jay in many matches. Obviously, I think what they need to sort of kind of like, give him a bit of an opportunity to wrestle. And I think probably sticking it on Explosion is the best way because they can give him a bit more time. hopefully you can really get to see that the kid's got some moves. You know, the kid's.
Do you know what? I would like to see Vidal fully have a feud with Giselle Shaw.
Yeah,
and I'd like to see Vidal. Right, hear me out. I'd like to see him become the Knockouts champion. If Eric Young can do it, then I want Vidal to be the Knockouts champion.
Yeah, it would be the reverse of Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to put him. You need to put him in a feud with Giselle. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, but just imagine him, the king of sass, walking around with that belt. It'd be hilarious. It'd be brilliant.
It would. He's not. And to be fair, like size wise,
Dragonstorm makes a good point.
What's this? You could do with a better gimmick. Well, a different. I don't know. I mean, that's his gimmick. That is who he is. To be fair, it's not. I don't think it's a gimmick. I've actually interviewed Jay Vidal. He's on my. If you go and check out on the channel our interview section. I've actually got one of the Bison Talks Impact episodes is with Jay Vidal. Go and check it out. Because, like I said, I honestly believe that that person that you see, it's just him. He's just hyped it up a little bit. Yeah. So that is his character. He is who he is. So it's sort of kind of, I think it's cool. Go and check that out if you want to. But yeah, no, I think he's coming on really, really well. So kudos to him. Like you say, he's getting the opportunity now to show that he can go in the ring. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on him because I think we might see him turn up in some kind of feud with Giselle Shaw moving forward. I can see that where he's like proper pissed. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I can see Ashby Elegance could do something with him and really piss off Giselle Shaw that way.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Ashby Elegance can do whatever she wants to me. To be fair.
Calm down, mate. Calm down. Down, boy. Down, boy. Can I just say a quick hello? We got Zane's joined us, Zane Charles. He's not liking TNA as much as I did when Scott D'Amore was president. I am disappointed that Scott D'Amore has gone. Okay, that's cool. But to be fair, up until No Surrender, you've not seen anything without Scott D'Amore yet. So No Surrender, we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm not sure what it is that you're not enjoying because everything we've seen so far, other than No Surrender, has been Scott D'Amore's work. So I think you need to maybe sort of kind of give it a little bit of a chance. Keith Goldman, I missed the news. Well, yeah, you missed all the news. I don't know. You aren't missing news. We're sort of kind of talking about different bits at the moment. We just sort of go and talking about Explosion. And funny enough, as Eli has just mentioned, we're about to talk about that right now. So I've just put on here, will Alex Hammerstone sign with TNA after the news he's possibly at Sacrifice in a couple of weeks? I'm going to go with you on this one, Joe. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think he's signed?
I think he's definitely going to probably do something similar to Nick Nemeth and go for a 6-month contract or something and see where it goes from there. But I think we'll be seeing him on TNA a lot more, definitely, if he's coming to Sacrifice. I'm looking for. I don't know what he's coming to Sacrifice for, but I'm looking forward to just seeing Alex Hammerstone again after that match with Josh Alexander. That was just all eyes on him. Yeah, he's someone want to watch. And it's going to be great to see him again.
I think I agree with that. What about yourself, Craig? What are your thoughts on it? I mean, we obviously we talked to Jake Chris a couple of weeks ago, and like we were saying, it's sort of like it's like Alex Hammerstone is Jake's spit, but massive,
like a crossover with like Brian Cage. But dare I say it? But Brian Cage, but with talent. Yeah, I'm just saying that. And I don't miss Brian Cage. I don't care about any Brian Cage fans and that. But Alex Hammerstone, he can move, man. And I watched a bit of him in MLW when I flirted watching that for a little bit. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, he come across as a total asshole. But then in TNA, he looked disciplined. He looked refined. He looked like he was there to say, I'm going to let my wrestling do the talking, not this bravado and stuff like that. So I think I've probably underestimated him. But I think if we get him. Even if we got him on a 6-month contract, I think that we'd be begging to keep him for longer if he does sign with us.
Wow, I didn't know this one, guys. For another one from Dragons, Nick Nemeth is defending his New Japan title at Sacrifice.
Wow, that must have just come out because I've not seen that.
Wow, that is incredible. That would also explain that's Scott D'Amore was trying to boost the whole relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling as he did with AAA.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm loving that.
That's one of the reasons why Nick Nemeth has not been on TNA for so
Yeah.
long, because I know he's gone to Japan, but to come back and defend his title in the TNA ring, that's incredible. That's just good
awesome.
for him. That's good for everybody.
Down with that. And it's good to see Zach's joined us. Roger Sims has joined us. Hey, dude. Oh, look, Zach is sharing the link to the Jay Vidal interview. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I think, and Mir's asking a question. He's asking me, I'm going to answer Mir. So what's he got? So Bison, what are the chances free agents won't sign with TNA because Scott D'Amore is no longer with the company? I think that is absolute zero possibility that will make any difference whatsoever. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I feel that everyone is putting way too much stuff with regards to signing the people and stuff like that on Scott. He's done a fantastic job. He's not a god, and he's not the man that holds the money at the end of the day. And I think you'll find that quite often when you speak to a lot of talents that have come in more recently and signed with Impact have actually come in via Tommy Dreamer, or they've come in via Gail Kim, or people like that. So I think I think you're putting way too much emphasis on Scott D'Amore in that respect. A lot of the talents that Scott brought in reality are a lot of the ones that are Canadian, via his wrestling school. So yes, for instance, Josh Alexander was through him. Moose, stayed and re-signed again because of Scott D'Amore. I understand that 100%. But I really don't think, for instance, Nick Nemeth signed with Impact because signed with TNA just because Scott D'Amore is here. So I think you need to stop thinking that TNA's going to go down the shitter just because Scott's gone. He's one person. Yeah, he's one person, and he's the only person that's gone. Everybody else is still there.
I think I liken that sort of thing. Like, I know I'm going to probably lose a couple of the fans there when I start talking about soccer or Premier League football, but I likened it the other day to a friend. He said to me, like, who's this Scott D'Amore and why is it such a big deal? I was like, well, imagine when Jose Mourinho left Chelsea. It left a big hole, and a lot of a lot of players did go there because of Jose Mourinho. I was like, I see that, like, Scott D'Amore maybe did attract some talent. Scott D'Amore is a mastermind in that sense.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
I know that we'll fast forward and we'll cover what Eric Young said and stuff like that. But I think the fact that they've got leaders in that locker room, like Alex Shelley, like Eric Young, like Josh Alexander and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think we're safe either way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You've got to be, as a performer, as a wrestler, you've got to be a bit more professional. You can't just go, oh, I'm only there because of one particular person. That's bollocks. I don't believe that for a minute. And Norris, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Wrestlers are not signing with TNA because Anthem is showing they don't want to spend money. What a load of crap. They've done all the upgrades. They've spent money on it. They spent money on people like Nick Nemeth. They're obviously spending money on Mustafa Ali. What are you talking about?
They're booking Alex Hammersmith for another Hammerstone for another event. So that's saying something. He's one of the most wanted men out there, and if he's even just coming back for one more match, that's just saying something. They're willing to put that much money in just to bring him back for another match. That's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. They're bringing people back, and there is a much chances that they're going to sign people. They've talked about there's going to be more to come in the future. I think the biggest thing that might potentially hold them back from signing bigger names or signing some of the the big free agents at the moment will be exposure on American TV. Okay, so that is a situation that they need to sort out fairly quickly, because that could be the one thing that starts to hold them back. I think they will sort it. I think that's something which is on the cards to be sorted in the coming months. This year it's certainly something that's going to be sorted. But we're just going to have to, we've got to wait. You just don't know, where it's going to go. I mean, Simon's saying that one thing I've noticed with the whole Scott D'Amore situation is that people have forgotten all the times he has screwed up, or when people criticize him publicly for bad decisions. Exactly. All of a sudden, he's the golden man. Everything he's done was gold. Actually, no, not everything he's done has been gold. You know what I mean? There has been mistakes that's been made in the past, but so does everybody. Nobody's perfect. And like I said, what we've got to be doing is we've got to just be saying, thanks, Scott, for everything you've done.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Simple as that. Not everything that they do, that anybody has done anywhere ever, is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And just because he's part of something that they've grown, that family type atmosphere, it doesn't mean all of a sudden because one person's gone, that's all gone. They're suddenly not going to turn on each other, because they're suddenly not going to stop liking each other because one person's not there anymore. It doesn't. I don't know what life some people live, but that's just not common sense, is it really? But anyway, so I think there's a strong possibility. Let's get back to Alex Hammerstone. I think there's a strong possibility that Alex Hammerstone is going to sign with Impact. I think they're obviously going to have a good chat about all of that at Sacrifice, and we'll just have to wait and see. I think it would be fantastic. I think if he did, he would be fantastic for Impact. He's the sort of guy that I think Impact need. That type of cat. He need someone like that. He's awesome. I mean, look at, he's a specimen, isn't he? He's an absolute specimen of a man, and he's great in the ring. Absolutely fantastic talent. I got a lot of time for him, and I hope that he does sign. Eric Young addresses the TNA fans before No Surrender special this past weekend, and if you haven't seen that speech, right, with the entire Impact locker room and all of the, everyone was stood behind him when all this happened, and then they went out and pulled off a special like they did, right, with no, Scott wasn't there. They acknowledged that they acknowledged the fact that they've lost a dear friend and someone that was important, and they acknowledged that and they spoke about it, but they said, look, but we have to go on. Things move on. We see the passion, the desire, none of that has changed. And that also comes from the locker room. It doesn't just come from one person. It's everybody. And when you've got people like Eric Young, a TNA original, you've got people like Kazarian saying, look, come on. At the end of the day, he literally said it. Kazarian literally said, this is a business. And yes, sometimes in the business you lose, people that you really like, that you enjoy spending time with and all that. But, life moves on. You know what I mean? It continues. We don't just suddenly, everything doesn't suddenly change just because one person's gone. It is sad but, we need to move on. And that's pretty much what Eric Young was talking about.
Oh yeah, Eric Young's speech was absolutely fantastic, and
it was heartfelt, and the crowd cheered. And what came afterwards, we'll talk about in a bit. But what came afterwards was an incredible show. Now we here at TNI, obviously, we've already talked about that. TNA celebrates Black History Month. With videos from Moose, Chris Bay, and Tasha Steeles. I really like Chris Bay and Tasha Steeles, but I'm not quite sure Moose's was a bit lackluster. But I don't know. I don't think I would have put that out, to be honest. But that's down to them, I guess. But
the ultimate finesser, your girl's favorite wrestler, Chris Bay.
Chris Bay? Yeah, I love that one. Chris Bay. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Simon Plum said, I think everyone is forgetting the shit show that was the AEW collaboration we had with D'Amore and Callis.
Yeah, let's stay forgetting that.
There you go. See, I mean, not everything was gold. Let's put it that way.
Period.
Yeah, look at me. Tell Giselle Shaw to get over your boyfriend being fired. What is that supposed to be? I don't understand that. Like, at the end of the day, right? You're going out with them. You work for a company. You work for a company that pay you Scott isn't paying you. You work for the company that pays you, right? So you work for any company, right? You're seeing the boss. The boss gets sacked. Well, that's just life. I don't know. I just feel that people don't understand that at the end of the day, it's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job, right? It's, anyway, I've had enough talking about it.
Off.
Yeah, Bison race.
Exactly. Anyway, let's have a little chat. Let's have a little go through about Impact. Shall we? Let's talk about Impact last week. Okay, so Impact results. So we get the X Division champion Chris Sabin defeats Jason Hotch. After the match, we got one last promo from Mustafa Ali, leading to no surrender. Simon Gotch defeats Jack Price in a squash match. Anyway, let's just talk about the Sabin and Hotch match. So I thought this again was a really, really good match. Jason Hotch is great.
Mm-hmm.
He is so good. He's got so much potential. I think they're putting more and more focus on him, which I think is really cool. And I think Jason Hotch is a future X Division champion. I really do. I really think that. Wow, Swag fans in the house delivering super stickers. I think he needs. I think he needs a soundbite for that. He definitely needs a soundbite. There you go, soundbite, baby. Yeah, so that's a good one. But there you go. So I think it's great. Thank you ever so much for that, buddy. I really do. And thanks for saying hi. And it looks like Keith's joined us as well. Keith Goldman's in the house. Zane Charles is in the house, which is good to see. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's all hyping up today. Which is good. Okay, so we then have, like I say, that final promo from Mustafa Ali, which is obviously leading into No Surrender, which we'll talk about a bit later. I like the way that they've done this. I mean, obviously, they didn't want him to debut until the main event. It's No Surrender. And I think the way that they sort of kind of built it by using the good hands as sort of kind of like, his supporters, his campaign supporters, or whatever you'd like to say, that type of thing. I think it's, and the what was it they did last week? Was it last week they did it where they he was advertising, or he was paying for that event, or that match, or whatever it was. I thought that was pretty cool. So I think the way they built it, it's been really sort of kind of imaginative, based around what they're doing at the moment. I think it's really good. I do. I think they've done a really, really good job. How come we got two people that are voicing their opinions on Mustafa Ali?
It's the same opinion as well.
It's exactly the same. Interesting. Now his view is: can I just voice my opinion on Mustafa Ali? Winning the X Division title would be better if he went on beating notable names in the division, and when becoming champion would mean something. Okay, cool. Appreciate your opinion.
I get it, and I get what he's saying, but that completely goes against the whole character of what Mustafa Ali's come in doing. He's paying for matches. He's the president in his own right, sort of thing, or he's a candidate. So
his whole character is basically mocking the US election. Basically, and the fact that he's already a huge name since he was released from WWE. Everyone was saying that he needs to go to AEW, he needs to go to New Japan, he needs to go here, he needs to go there. He's going on a world tour like Alex Hammerstone is doing. They're going on a world tour. They're making themselves known across the world before they even come to TNA.
Exactly.
And Mustafa Ali is another one of the hottest free agents out there, alongside Nick Nemeth, alongside Alex Hammerstone, he was already a must-have guy. Regardless, if he was going to turn up anywhere, it would blow the roof off. It would bring the house down. It would be better than The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Well, I don't know about that, mate. Calm down there. Easy,
I've heard of those people. What do they do?
Yeah, exactly. Easy, Tiger. Come on. Now we're going a little bit over the top. But either way, I like the way they did it. I thought it really worked from a storyline perspective. I understand what you're saying about but that's how everybody else would have done it. Let's just bring a guy in and beat some noble names.
Howdy,
Blah, blah,
Courtney.
blah.
You're all right.
Hey, Courtney, nice to see you. But instead of doing it that way, they went a different way, and I think it worked. I think it worked really well. I really do. So it's good. We then got Simon Gotch defeating Jack Price, which quite frankly was just a squash match, which is a shame because I've been wanting to see Jack go on Impact for a while. So they bring him on. I thought, I wonder if they're going to give him a bit of a match. But basically, Simon destroyed him, which is a real shame. But I hope we get to see a little bit more of Jack Price moving forward. I really do. What else have we got? After the match, Josh and Simon go face to face in the ring, which I thought was quite cool as well. And interestingly enough, I didn't realize how big Simon was.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't look that. He doesn't look that big. And then when he was stood up against Josh, he's taller than Josh. I mean, I know Josh is not like a giant, but it was interesting to see how he's at least he was at least a couple of inches, I would say, taller than Josh. But he's a big tough lad, and so that was interesting, definitely. But so we had that obviously ahead of their match. Their sort of kind of grudge match, I guess, at No Defender. Barry saying that Gotch is a really good wrestler. I hope he sticks around. Technically very sound. I agree. And when we talk about that match in a minute, we'll have a good chat about that. So I think it was a really, really interesting way to bring that in. We got all that kind of going on. We got the face to face. We're setting them up ready for No Surrender the following day. Which was good. We then got a promo from the Grizzled Young Vets. So I'm sure Craig had problems understanding. But
didn't get a word.
The basic gist of it was that they were claiming victory at No Surrender. That's basically all you need to know. All right. Just slight translation there for you. Steve Macklin then defeats Trent 7 after a great...
brutal, that match.
It was.
Wow.
After a great show of defiance from Trent 7. I think Trent took an absolute beating. He was never going to stay down in that match, and I think it really showed his tenacity and his desire to not be beaten. Obviously, even in the end, he did actually beat him in the end. But I thought I thought this was a pretty good match actually. After the match, Steve Macklin sends a message to Nick Nemeth, which again is what you would expect. We've got some building. I think they're building this really well too.
Yeah, I think we might get Macklin versus Nemeth for the New Japan Wrestling Championship.
I'd like that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure they'll go there yet. I'm hoping that we're not going to get them until Rebellion. But
it could tie in though, because if you think about it, Macklin's deal's coming up to an end, so he could win the Japan title and then just go off on his own for a bit. To be fair, I hope he re-signs with us. I really do, because I think his given the fact that Josh had that injury and Macklin had like a short run with the title, he's definitely got TNA champion credentials, and I hope he is champion by the end of the year. But we can all dream.
Yeah. I mean, I think Steve's going to stay around. I honestly do. I think he's going to re-sign. Not to say there isn't interest elsewhere, but the way that they're building a storyline around him right now tells me that they've got confidence he's going to re-sign, or he already has. So I think he's going to be around, because they're putting too much on him at the moment. He's on the show every week. Everything's very positive. He's winning matches. He's in with he's proper rascaling it up right now, which is good to see. So there's a lot of positives around Steve Macklin at the moment.
The ironic thing is that it reminds me of when Moose was building himself up and he had the North on his side, and their rivals were their rivals at the time were the Rascalz. And now the Rascalz are the guys in the North position, and Macklin's like Moose.
It's a good method to use.
Yeah, it's working brilliantly, and it's giving them more relevance when they try to find them like when the Rascalz eventually get their tag team opportunity come soon, that's when they're going to get a title shot soon. But because they still deserve that one team versus one team rematch, even though they did get their official rematch. But I'm also gunning for the system to go for it next too.
Yeah,
fair dues. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of stuff building at the moment.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff building at the moment. You know what? It's cold up here, and I'm getting a streamy nose right now. It's getting right on my nerves. I'm having to sniff and stuff. So if people can hear me sniffing, I apologise.
We haven't noticed until you mentioned it. To be fair.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, no, I think, and because normally when a talent in TNA's contract is coming to an end and they've not re-signed, or there's not a check, they don't think that's going to happen. Normally, you'll find. Look at what happened with Deanna. She started to wind down, whereas I'm not seeing that with Steve. With Steve Macklin, I'm seeing they're building him back. So. I'm not sure. I think he's either re-signed, or maybe there is the option to extend his contract like they did with Josh. I don't know, but I'm sure there's a possibility that
with Steve, obviously his partner Deanna. I know, we have her fondly in our hearts and stuff like that, fondly in our search history and stuff. But she got buried recently. Because of a match that she had against Taya Valkyrie on AEW. And do you know what? I didn't check the match out because of how hard it was buried. So I didn't want to give them the viewership. Do you know what I mean? But I'm guessing that, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I'm guessing the women are just going to wind up buried on Ring of Honor. So when we have these...
The fans are just hating on Deanna Prazer in general, to be honest. I saw some of the highlights of the match she had against Taya Valkyrie. She got in a very, very brutal variant of the Venus de Milo.
Okay.
Really, it was like a surfboard stretch version of the Deep Venus de Milo.
Oh, right.
Really,
okay.
Really
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a person that generally doesn't watch a lot of AEW anyway, I haven't seen the match. And to be fair, I think, she's facing Taya. I've seen that one several times.
Yeah,
She's
facing Tony Storm next, from what I gather. And
I might watch the highlights, or I might see if I can watch that one, because I think that would be pretty good. I think that'd be good. SWAT fan is saying that he saw that. I saw Josh is looking for bookings. He's always looking for bookings.
Yeah, it's coming up to the WrestleMania week, so there's going to be bookings available in loads of different places.
A lot of TNA. A lot of TNA. A lot of the TNA talents are often looking for bookings, but they only do limited dates. They just do a few dates. You know what I mean? So
got to get that money.
Exactly, and of course he's in a position at the moment. You've got to capitalize on all that stuff. I mean, he's looking to do seminars and all sorts of stuff. And he's looking to capitalize on where he's at the moment. So I don't blame him.
No.
Okay, so we had a surprise match as Kaz brings EY's past to face him in the way of Big Damo.
This was fucking scary shit.
EY defeats the former Sanity teammate. Now, listen, I've been wanting Big Damo. I've been wanting Sanity in TNA. Yeah. I really like to see Sanity in TNA. I like the way EY's reaction was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Big Damo and all that. And then basically they had a big old fight, and Big Damo is a big dude, man. I think he needs to get himself. I mean, no offense, I'm fairly hairy myself, but I do think he needs to get himself some Manscaped. So
that's landscaping, not manscaping. I mean, my God, he's a strimmer. Yeah,
I tell you what, we should play the advert. We should play the Manscaped advert right now, and hope the Big Damo's watching. I think.
Yeah, I'd take a sponsorship off Manscaped any day.
I'm here to tell you people about Manscaped. See, when you're a card-carrying member of the Peanut Club, presentation is everything. In my opinion, with a clean shave, you can turn that cocktail Frank into bun length. That's right, folks. Kiss your Vienna sausage goodbye and upgrade your grooming habits with Manscaped. And guess what, folks? We got a special deal for the TNI fam. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. That's right, folks. 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
God, I missed that.
I didn't know that existed.
Didn't know?
I had no idea that existed. I haven't seen that clip before.
There you go. See, the scumbag. We do miss the scumbag. But anyway.
Because I like scumbags.
Exactly that. So it's been great. So anyway, I'm a big fan of Big Damo. Even though he came out looking like what was his name, George the Animal Steel. But yeah, fantastic. I'd like to see Sanity reunite, or maybe bringing someone like Fulton would be great for Sanity. But anyway.
That would be incredible.
Exactly.
Eric Fulton just in general would be amazing.
I agree. I totally agree. Anyway, so EY defeats obviously his former Sanity teammate, and then EY challenges Kaz to a rematch at No Surrender, which obviously we knew was coming. Tasha Steelz challenges Zaya Brookside to a rubber match this Thursday on Impact after pinning Killer Kelly last week. Danny and Jody challenge the winners of the Knockouts Tag Title match at No Surrender. So that was good to see as well. Ash by Elegance makes her in-ring debut in impressive fashion, defeating Savannah Thorne. I'll tell you what, Craig is a bit of a fan of Ash. What were your thoughts on this? What were your thoughts?
I didn't really know what to expect of her, to be fair, in the wrestling aspect, because like I said, I think it was on my debut show on here. People were saying she's like a Timu version of Toni Storm and stuff, and I thought, well, why are they writing her off? Surely there's no way that TNA is going to sign someone who's got no hope, no aspects, no creative control, or anything like that. So seeing her bury her opponent, man, she can move quick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She do you know what? And I know we mentioned just now, but Taya Valkyrie, she gave me that kind of vibe where she was just fully in control. She puts the body where she wants to put it and just completely annihilates it. So I think that we're going to see, some great knockouts matches there. Obviously I've got my favorites in that, but I think she'd put on a great match against someone like Tasha Steelz because there'd be quite a good variant. I think that if we could get like a solo match of Havoc versus Ash by Elegance, then we could see quite a slobber knocker, as you might say.
I think so. I mean, she's a strong girl, and it was great. I mean, get me wrong, it was obviously a squash match, right? And against Savannah Thorne. Now Savannah Thorne actually is a pretty good wrestler. She's not bad at all. But obviously this was a match to make Ash look as strong as possible. But she showed no rust whatsoever. She had that first match, although it was a squash match, was probably longer than any match she had on NXT. While she's at WWE already. I think we've got the makings here of someone that we didn't realize we needed in TNA. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. Can I just say, Ray UK, nice to see you. Temple Plays is offering his thoughts on Masha Slamovich beating Jordan Grace and Knockouts title, and when she's champion, she will revisit Masha versus Killer Kelly. But the type that could be interesting. The dog collar thing, that would be interesting. Cute Pups arrived. Nice to see you. Nice. I'll tell you what, the chat is filling up, mate. Chat's filling up.
This is the busiest I've seen it since.
Yeah, next bike one. I don't recognize that one. So really good. He liked Ash. He said that she's very violent.
She was incredible. I was really hyped up for her after listening to her interview with Bully Ray on Busted Open Radio, and she showed me everything that she said she was going to show. In that interview, she was absolutely incredible. She's got a history in gymnastics, a history in bodybuilding, and a history in amateur wrestling, and she's one of those people that's got a lot of creative ideas that just wasn't allowed to put them forward in WWE.
I find it strange. I find it really, really odd that, based on her background, like we've just talked about then, right? Like you just mentioned, Joe, that they never gave her an opportunity to go in the ring. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it. But hopefully, like you said, they did exactly the same with Deanna Prazo. You never really saw her go proper with NXT either. No. And look what happened to her.
Yeah.
So
she took the world by storm.
Yeah. And like you said, look, Zane Charles has just said most WWE fans said Ashworth Ellis is not a good wrestler. And glad she was not on TV. Was she clearly proven she is?
Well, I've got to be honest as well. If you listen to WWE fans, then that's on you.
yeah, I think we just need to ignore them.
It's always good to laugh.
Yeah,
mind you, I suppose some of the diehard AEW fans are better to laugh at, and then there is me, of course. So because
there is the Joker himself. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I think you just got to give people a chance to prove themselves. And like I've always said, right, Gail Kim is the GOAT of female wrestling or knockout wrestling, diva, whatever you want to call it. She's the GOAT, mate. And there's no way she would have signed a talent if she did not think that they could go and represent the knockouts division in a positive way. And I'm sorry, that's the way it is. We got to trust people like this. We've got to trust them, and the beauty of it is, like you say, is when you come to TNA, you're going to get the opportunity to prove you've got it. And I just think that the WWE didn't give her a chance to prove herself, and that's it. So if all you've ever done is watched her do her thing on WWE, you would be like, well, she's rubbish. Well, how can you say she's rubbish when she's only ever had 1 or 2 minute matches? So you're not giving her a chance to do anything. But there you go.
She'd probably say I was rubbish if she gave me 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Temple Plays apparently is saying he's busy. Our chat's busy because he's entered, and had to share the stream on my Insta. You guys deserve it. Oh, thanks
very much.
Thank you.
Really do appreciate that. So there's loads of stuff going on, and I think it's fantastic the way we're going. Now, we then get the System defeats Shelley and Kushida and Kevin Knight. After the match, the System looks to add insult to injury as they continue the assault. Shelley locks in the Border City stretch on Moose, but Myers and Edwards pull him to safety. And then obviously Impact goes off air. Yeah, that was a pretty. I mean, I thought that was a really good, match to end on. And I think it worked really well. So I think at the end of the day, the System is there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I don't know about the System. I'm not sold on the System and stuff. But you just got to give it. You've got to give sometimes
the system
a little bit of a chance. You know what I mean?
Trust the System.
You've got to trust the System. Yeah, I mean, other than having to trust the System, which is obviously the tagline, I think it's just people sometimes just don't give things time to play out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just do not give things chance to sort of play out, to build that story, and give it the opportunity to grow. I think as it's growing, it's getting more and more and more. And they've obviously got a long-term plan on where they're going with this, and I'm looking forward to it. I think obviously the System story as it is at the moment is going to play out, and it's going to hit kind of it's going to hit Rebellion. But
we got bias in the chat.
We have. Look at this. Was it get them likes up? Best TNA review channel on social media by a coach.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
You're not far wrong there, buddy. You're not far wrong. So yes, it's going well. It's going well. So I liked it. Obviously, it's gone off there. It's set up No Surrender for what we've got to come now.
Kevin Knight, though, just like that guy.
Wow.
I don't know how we've overlooked him or whatever, because he done a little stint with us before. But my God, like he's just that. He just. I don't know. I'm losing my words. Do you know what I mean? It was miraculous to see him do what he done in the ring. He's just so agile and so quick and so fast. I'm just like, we're going to need an extra cameraman to keep up if we sign him full time.
He is really fast. Yeah, he's
his focus now is more with TNA than it is with working in Japan at the moment. So they've got more time to do more stuff with him. But most of his time last year, he was with like Kushida. He was with New Japan primarily. So
right
now it's on the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've just literally had a text from Boomer, by the way. Boomer Bison has just texted me.
Happy birthday to Boomer as well from a couple of days ago.
Yes, definitely. Happy birthday to my lovely Boomer Bison. We went out today. She's got £100, right? But we got her a phone. Me and the wife bought her a phone. Wife of Bison and I got her a new phone because we what we do with ours is we say, look, the birthday before you get a big school.
Yeah.
You get a phone. So it's her 11th birthday, so she's got her phone. We set it all up and everything. But for some reason the SIM didn't turn up, which is a bit annoying. But it's all set up, so she won't be able to use it until now. But we had issues with it today as well. In fairness, we couldn't get it going. So I've been on Vodafone just before the show, before I came in to do so. I'm on the Vodafone. We managed to get the SIM sorted in the end, and it's literally just come online. And she's just messaged me, "Hello, Dad." So it's obviously working now, which is good to see. So a big shout out to Boomer for her birthday, 11 years old, and she's getting a big girl now, But guys, it's time to get into the No Surrender review. We've got to get into the No Surrender review. Let's start off with a countdown. We've got the Rascalz defeating Speedball Mountain, or Mustache Mountain, as Alicia from TNI likes to say. After a run after a run-in from Steve Macklin, obviously the Rascalz get the win. I actually knew something like that was going to happen because I think the minute Steve Macklin didn't come out with them, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Is he going to come in?
Right.
Is there some shenanigans? Is he going to come in from the crowd? From the crowd? What's going on here? And then obviously towards the end, he does the run in, gets the leg of Trent 7, and of course there we go. There's your 1, 2, 3. But it's good to see the Rascalz win. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Rascalz anyway, and I'm actually probably, I don't know whether I'm the only one or what, but I'm actually really liking this sort of kind of group up with Steve Macklin. And I need to get with it. Come on, guys, let's get it in there. We need to get this in.
They need to bring back the trios. Get Macklin in the trio.
Oh, Macklin's going to bring whiskey if they go to the trios.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
whiskey and pop. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, RVD's going to have a field day.
Yeah, definitely.
Bring RVD back up there.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That was just fucking brilliant the first time.
As long as he doesn't bring one of his wives, his girlfriends, or whatever he's got.
Oh, no, well, don't think they could fit that on TV.
I don't think they could. But anyway, so I'm loving this pair up. I think it's really good. And obviously, it's again setting up more sort of kind of feudiness between these guys, for future, because it's going to be more and more. Obviously, Trent 7 and Mike Bailey sort of aligned with Nick Nemeth a little bit, so obviously they're building that up. Then we get Frankie Kazarian. We sort of backstage. Frankie Kazarian isn't in the business of having meaningless matches. That's why he went to Director of Authority Santino Marella in the Scrutissimus regions, and made tonight's match against Eric Young a number 1 contenders match for the TNA World Championship. So that was cool. Again, I kind of, I mean, it makes sense why they would do that, with the fact that their sacrifice is obviously going to be in Canada. So it'd be good to get a Canadian facing Moose that isn't Josh, because obviously it isn't Josh, because I think they're going to save that, because if Josh is going to end up winning the title, they're not going to want to do it too soon, because Moose obviously needs a bit of a run. So I think that's what they're going to do. So Eric Young there. So the system, Edwards and Myers defeats Kushida and Kevin Knight. So this the system,
amazing. The height Kevin Knight got for that Doomsday drop kick That was just insane.
There was some really cool shit, man. There was so much crazy stuff going on in this match. It was really good. I tell you what, though. I mean, obviously, this is one of them free. This was free. So if you were watching this and thinking, shall I get No Surrender? Oh, I'm not sure. And you saw this match, you'd be like, man, I'm doing it.
I saw it I've seen it 4 times because I forgot that it's included on the full 3.5 hour video of No Turning Point as well. I watched the pre-show. Then I watched the pre-show again yesterday, and then the full event. So that was like 3 times. And I think I watched it when the pre-show was actually on too. So I've seen it about 3 or 4 times. And my God, like that match was like, if you weren't paying attention to that match, then my God, you're missing something special. And that was one to definitely get people watching. Eddie Edwards and Myers working together was fantastic, but Kevin Knight and Kushida are really going to be setting more eyes for the fans who are outside the TNA bubble onto it. Definitely.
Totally. Cute. Let me just quickly go to Cute Pup there. Now, he's saying Nick Nim is cutting better promos in Japan than he is doing in TNA, even the matches. Okay. So, he's doing some great matches. I have seen the highlights of those matches, and they are good matches. But, at the end of the day, the couple of matches that he's had were great in TNA. They were really good, solid matches. And, of course, he's not really had a huge amount of promo time yet. So you need to, you've got to give it a bit of time. Again,
if anything, he's going to Japan to basically get more eyes over on TNA when he comes back.
Yeah. I think so. I really do. I think he's pushing both promotions really well. So Temple Play saying that overlooking Kevin Knight, I'm a New Japan guy. More than any company, and him in the last years, Bosch was fucking ridiculously good. One of the best pre-shows they've done. Both matches were good. That's from Paul Matheson. Okay, so there's a lot of really good. There is. They were both great, and I think if you were on the fence on whether you were going to watch No Surrender, those matches would definitely have given you a little push to to buy if you didn't have the TNA Plus, or you did, or Fight, or YouTube Ultimate Insiders, or whatever. If you're, wondering whether to go for it, I think you would. So we then go into No Surrender, and we get Frankie Kazarian and Eric Young, the OGs, kicking off No Surrender. We get, basically Kaz did not make it easy for EY, but he eventually defeats Kaz to earn a world title shot at Sacrifice. After the match, Kaz assaults the referee, eventually stopped by all the other refs in security. So I think the match was really good, and it really did take some like badass hard hitting shit from EY to defeat Kaz in the end. Obviously Kaz wasn't happy with the referee, kind of blamed it on the ref that he managed to get pinned, etc.
The referee was counting too quickly or too slow, regardless, and then the referee paid for it. But anyway, in the words of Kazarian, you got permission to hate me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, we hate him. We hate him.
No, I don't. I think Kaz is my man still, alongside Eddie Edwards.
He is a ledge, definitely. But again, I thought it was a solid match to kick off the show. Whether I would have kicked off the show with this match, I'm not sure, but I think it was a solid match, and obviously the OGs putting in the work, doing a great job. I'm wondering, I mean, to attack a referee and obviously officials, etc. I don't know. Kaz needs he needs disciplinary, if you ask me.
Oh, did you see his response to the referee's medical statement after online afterwards? He's shooting him down online after the referee issues a statement online saying he's been attacked, but he's okay, he's recovering well. And Kazarian did a series of posts on X and that, shooting him down and bashing him. It was it's just brilliant. It's just adding, really being up this heel character even more, and really putting it over. It's fantastic.
That's what we need.
That's it. That's exactly what we need. Now, Gia Miller backstage with the Grizzled Young Vets who declare they will win the best of 3 tonight to become TNA tag team champs versus obviously ABC. Again, I just thought I'd try. Did I disappear then?
Yeah.
That just
Okay, I'm back. So
Yeah.
Gia Miller's backstage, Grizzled Young Vets, who declare they will win the best of 3 tonight. Like I say, just translating that one for you, Craig, if you missed what was said.
Thank you.
I know obviously struggle there with the accent, no problem. We then find out that local celeb Westside Gun is ringside. Absolutely no clue. No idea. No idea. But I have a funny feeling it's something to do with AJ Francis. Possibly. I don't know.
Probably AJ Tracy at this point.
Yeah. So I had no clue who that was. I'm sure people in the chat might be able to, let me know. So we then go into the ABC versus GYV. I love it. After an absolute banger of a match, ABC obviously defeats GYV to retain the World Tag Titles. This was a banger, right? And
oh, wasn't it?
I'm not gonna lie. Like if we don't retain GYC, I'm pissed because these boys are incredible. They are incredible.
I'll go on record right now and I'll say GYV should have won that.
I think so too. I think they were incredible.
They were the better team. Like, don't get me wrong. I do love Chris Bay and I love Austin and that, but it's just like I was seeing the same choreography from them, and I felt like in that match GYV kept it alive. But not only did they keep it alive, they made it brutal. Do you know what I mean? It looked like they were really like not letting go of their moves. But I thought, as much grief as I give them for their dialect and stuff like that, those guys really can wrestle. And to be fair, I want to see them with gold. I really do. As much as it pains me to say it, I want to see them with gold. Do you know what? I'd like to see them with gold as long as they don't touch any microphones. That'd be brilliant. I'd love that. That'd be amazing.
Maybe just give them a manager. There we
go. Kushida. I'd rather listen to Kushida speak on their behalf than them have the microphones.
Yeah, bring back Yuya. Anyway, so
champion.
Backstage after what happened earlier tonight, Speedball Mountain want to get their hands on Steve Macklin and of course the Rascalz. So that's obviously setting up something in the future. And this is what I liked about the show tonight. I actually felt like everything that they did had an absolute purpose, whether it was aiming to do with the show tonight or setting something up for the future. It was all there. Everything was there. It was almost like it was a pumped up kind of episode of Impact, if you know what I mean. But it was good. I enjoyed it. So we then go into PCO versus Con. Now I know your feelings on this, Craig. So I'm going to go with Joe first in a second, right? But I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown. So PCO hits a clothesline out of the corner. PCO dives through the ropes, but Con swats him out of midair. Both men go toppling over the top rope to the floor, which was when I saw that happen, I'm like, man, everyone there must have felt the ground move. Con avoids the deanimator, causing Con to collide with the apron. Con attacks him with a steel chair, causing the disqualification. So at this point, okay, because they hadn't set this up for a no DQ, this was just a match. Yeah. There's no special rules in place, and obviously they're moving towards that. Okay, so but on paper, PCO has defeated Con right now, regardless of how that happened. That's what's happened now. After the bell, Con then continues to assault PCO. Con snaps his neck and buries him under a pile of chairs. Con attacks the timekeeper as PCO rises again, of course. PCO brings the fight to Con with repeated steel chair shots. Con bounces back, dropping PCO spine first on the ramp. Con handcuffs him to the entrance tunnel, which was rubbish. So he didn't handcuff him. He used cable ties. And the cable tie wasn't actually in place. So if you watch very closely towards the end, where his hand is supposed to be held, PCO is actually holding it there. Anyway, that's something else. Con handcuffs the entrance tunnel after wrapping a steel chair around his neck and snapping it once again. Now, the beauty of being able to snap PCO's neck is at the end of the day, he could just be reanimated because he's not human.
Yeah,
you just give him a bit of electric and he's back. So so it's all good. Now, and obviously that was it. It was done. Con walks off, left PCO there with a snap neck, and it was all done. Now the thing is with this, right? And I know Craig's got his views on this. This was the way that this was done on purpose.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah,
they're obviously wanting to take it to a like no DQ, a monster's ball, or some kind of like hardcore blood feud match. That's what they're going for. But they didn't want to give you that too early.
Yeah.
So that's why they put this one in place. Now
we'll probably get it for Sacrifice, although I'd love to see it go to Sacrifice and then go on to Rebellion so give us a Monster's Ball or something on Sacrifice.
Like add a couple more for a Monster's Ball.
Like we would expect a Monster's Ball first because it's PCO and he's the new monster of TNA. Then Rebellion, put it into a steel cage match.
I'm thinking what they're doing here is they're going to set this one up. Next will be a no DQ.
Yeah.
Right? And it'll be a no DQ. They'll set that one up.
Or full metal mayhem.
Something like that. Yeah, it will be something like that. But there's going to be a Monsters Ball Rebellion. And somehow there's other people that's going to get interjected into this Monsters Ball. Yeah. I'm not sure who or where it's going to happen.
Oh, mate, anyone.
But I can see it. I can see it happening. Now,
Joe Hendry, Rich Swann, and AJ Francis.
No, Jesus
and,
Christ.
And Dina.
Oh my God!
Get them all in as well.
What about you, buddy? Craig, come on, give us your all, and just remember, I tell you this now. Wait, before you go at it, right? Before you go at it, this is going to be a great clip to put on the advertising show. Go for it.
Basically, let me put it this way: PCO versus Con was like watching Butlins Redcoats try and wrestle for the first time. I thought it was absolute trash. I thought it was just complete filler. I thought the match could have been 2, maybe 3 minutes shorter than it was. Con looked lost for most of the time. Then they were ringing the bell, and then it just spiraled. It was just it looked like he forgot what he was meant to be doing. And then like PCO under the chairs, it's just like it was just. It wasn't convincing in any shape or form. And then like snapping his neck not once but twice, the whole thing on the stage, and that I was just like you again, like there's a match on the countdown that would have been a prime candidate to replace PCO versus Con. I don't hate either guy. PCO is phenomenal for his age. Con has got a lot of potential, but I wish he would read his script and kind of get it done a lot smoother. But yeah, that match, to me, that would be a match that if I had a friend who was watching TNA for the first time, I would have got them to come with me to the kitchen to have a cup of tea, and then we would have gone back when I had it.
Yeah.
It was poor match for me, but that's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
I get it, but what we have to remember with TNA is that they like to try and cater for everybody's taste, and I think there's a lot of people out there that probably really liked it.
I loved the beatdown after the match. But some of the stuff in the match was brilliant. PCO doing the deanimator and hitting nothing. That was painful to watch. This match was painful to watch because every big bump and every heavy hit and every miss, I could feel just sitting there watching it. So that part of the match really still got me really intrigued and everything. And then the whole beatdown.
I think my issue is that this match could have been on a weekly Impact show.
Yeah, it could have been on a weekly show.
Explosion at best.
Okay, cool. But obviously, I'm a big PCO fan.
Me too. We love the French Canadian.
For his age, he's awesome. And Con, another guy that I've interviewed. I think, again, guys, if you didn't see that interview, you need to go and check it out, because Con is a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Mate, his promo, but that's the thing, that the lead up to it, the promos with the red light, and he's like, I'm going to be the baddest man TNA, and then he gets the match. I'm like, where's this badass from like TNA that you want to be? Like, like staple his lips together, set him on fire, do all these things that Bully Ray and Macklin done, do these sorts of things. We like that, and it gets views. Don't do this dragged out play acting stuff. It just, I don't know.
All right,
it is.
Mate.
It's
all
just
right,
one of the things. I know. I'm gonna have a breather.
You've had your say. You've had your say. Calm down.
Yeah, Mir's on it as well now.
Here we go. Go on, Mir. Okay, so backstage, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin asked Kushida and Kevin Knight not to throw in the towel in tonight's No Surrender Rules match. They had that done, so all good. Decay versus MK Ultra, the tag title match. Now we're talking. After a really solid match between these two teams, including some nice interaction between Kelly and Rosemary.
That broke the internet again.
The
most watched clip of No Surrender. It got over 1 million views in about an hour.
Unbelievable. Masha hits Rosemary with the snowplow to win the Knockouts tag titles. To be fair, I was really shocked that Decay came out at Hard to Kill, and I was shocked that MK Ultra lost. I thought they were going to keep the belts on them, but they are now 2-time Knockouts tag title, title champions. So it's all good. And I thought the match was really strong. I really enjoyed it. I think Decay came out of it looking strong. They didn't look weak. So that's good. And again, I think that there's more to come from Decay. I honestly believe that Decay is going to grow in the coming weeks and months. And Swag Fan, I'm not
right. Totally agree.
Yeah.
It was good. It was definitely good. But after the match, MK Ultra had add insult to injury as they attacked Decay until Jody, Threat, and of course Danny Luna make the save. So we've got obviously Threat and Luna are making themselves a bit of a nuisance, and they're making themselves known as the next contenders.
Yeah, Eric Isaac's reading my mind of what I would love to see coming. I've said before, we need to see Decay and MK Ultra in a Monsters Ball or a dog collar match. But now that we've got Jody Threat and Danny Luna in as well, get them involved too. Have it a 3-way trip Monsters Ball.
Could be good.
And have MK Ultra and Decay in a dog collar match at least as well.
Yeah,
I would love to see that coming.
Do you know what? All I really want to see is Killer Kelly come out and do the Beautiful People entrance in that outfit that she wore. That's just a personal one, I'm happy. Like she doesn't have to do it live; she can do it in mine. It's fine. She can
do it in mind. Just do it in your mind.
Mate, she's doing it in my mind.
Right now.
No way.
Yeah. She must be knackered.
Oh mate, I'm tired.
Now we go backstage and Moose
got a sore wrist.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, got a sore wrist. Both. It's Kelly and her 5 sisters. So anyway, backstage, Moose demands that Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers do not throw in the towel in the No Surrender Rules match tonight. Again, we're setting up the big match. We then get to the Josh Alexander versus Simon Gotch match. Now, for me, after an incredible display of hard-hitting, technical wrestling, Josh Alexander gets the victory over Simon Gotch. Barely, quite frankly, because I thought Simon put in one hell of a fucking match. Big, strong dude. I thought this match, for me, like as a pure wrestling fan, but as a sort of kind of like, strong style, should I say, as a strong style kind of wrestling fan, I thought this match was fantastic. And I'm not going to ever shy away from the fact that I think Josh Alexander is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. And Simon proved that he is bloody good as well. I'm glad to see Simon has been added to the TNA roster pace. So I'm assuming we're going to see a bit more Simon moving forward. But this was a fantastic match. What did you think of this one, Joe?
This was amazing. This was old school wrestling that at its finest. You know, something that TNA had done a great job with Josh Alexander, especially showcasing. You know, if you want to see a proper wrestling match, here's a proper wrestling match. It was brilliant. I loved this match. It was one of the best of the night. It was just incredible from start to finish. And like we said earlier, Simon Gotch is amazing. So, and I've not seen the full match that Josh Alexander had against Simon Gotch beforehand to get signed to TNA. But if it was anything like this, then my God, did he earn that contract from Scott D'Amore?
He did. He definitely did, because I'm not going to lie to you, that Simon Gotch is one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. What did you think on this one, Craig?
Oh man, like I've said, I said in last week's show, I think I am a Gotch fan. You know, he has got a lot of talent in that, but like to see that level of wrestling, you know, dare I say it, I'm bringing it up again, that level of wrestling compared to PCO versus Con. Do you know what I mean? It's like two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
You know, and like Simon Gotch, as much as he was taking a beating, because like Josh done the German suplexes, you know, and kept hold of him and kept going and going. You know, Simon definitely, you know, put in some effort there, and I'm a fan of both of those guys. So, you know, it was just a win-win for me, whatever was going to happen, you know. But like much like Nick Nemeth coming over, and like, you know, with Simon Gotch, I think that if we can keep him for quite some time, it'd be good for him to spark up a rivalry with other people. Like if we keep Hammerstone, that'd be good. Like Gotch versus Macklin has got pay-per-view title match written all over it, in my opinion.
You're reading my mind. I was thinking Gotch versus Macklin.
No, you just text me.
I could see it coming. You know, down the line, if they could do something similar to Bully Ray and Mac and get them working together for a bit,
match,
and then
another one of these dog collar matches. Yeah, definitely, that would be cool. Okay, so we go backstage. AJ Francis approaches Rich Swann and tells him, you know, that just because their opponents is Thursday on Impact doesn't mean they have to be enemies. So we get that. That's interesting. But we're going to get to some. We're going to get to some a little bit later. Then we get the no surrender rules for TNA World Championships. We get Moose versus Alex Shelley. Now, okay, here we go. Let's just. I've got a big old thing in it. I'm just going to read it. All right, I'm just going to read it. The only way this match can end is if one of the competitors cornerman throws in the towel. Shelley locks in the armbar. The fight spills to the outside, where Moose powerbombs Shelley into the hardest part of the ring. Shelley rakes the eyes, then takes the big man down with a chop block to the left knee. Nearly, Shelley wraps a steel chair around the leg of Moose, but Myers refuses to throw in the towel. Eddie grabs the chair out of Shelley's hands, allowing Moose to drive him into the ring post. Shelley bends Moose's finger with the use of the wrench. Turnabout to painful. Yeah, that looked really painful. Turnabout is fair play as Moose traps Shelley's hand in the turnbuckle and smashes it with a steel chair. Kushida contemplates throwing in the towel, but decides not to. Back in the ring, Shelley bounces back with the dragon screw. Shelley assaults him with the kendo stick. Eddie goads Shelley in, allowing him to pry the kendo stick out of his hands. Shelley powerbombs Moose from the top rope into the steel trash can below. Shelley hits a low blow, then locks in the Border City stretch. Myers slides brass knuckles onto the fist.
So good.
Yeah, I know. Onto the fist of Moose as he strikes Shelley to break the hold. Shelley sends Moose crashing through the table into the corner. Shelley locks in the Border City stretch with the steel chain. I don't understand how that happened, really, because like at this point he should be knocked out. But anyway, Knight launches himself off the back of Kushida to take out the system on the outside. Alicia gets in the ring, and the distraction allows Moose to spear Shelley. Not once, but twice. Moose wraps a steel chain around his body and spears Shelley once again. Moose is about to spear him for the fourth time when Kushida throws in the towel. The bell rings, but Moose spears Shelley anyway. Now,
Amazing
It was an amazing match. I'm just going to throw something in on this one, though. So Moose wraps the chain around his body, right? And then runs into Shelley, right? Bearing in mind that chain is on his body.
Yeah.
Right. And they're both should be getting just as hurt, right? Am I right or wrong? The impact would be just as painful on Moose's body as it would on Shelley.
But then he's got that much like momentum and adrenaline going. He probably just doesn't feel it. He's that pumped up from everything. It's like he just blocks out the pain. You know, he spent the majority. He spent the majority of the match getting really, really beaten up more than Alex Shelley was. So it's like that short rush of adrenaline to get everything going. Just like it's like that. Just that moment just decided the whole match, which was quite intriguing. I thought, you know, for a while I honestly thought Brian Myers was going to throw a towel in. I really did think that the system would crack a bit, and then that would be the beginning of the end of the system, or there would be something like that. Because one of my plans for the system back in January was that at some point something like this happens, that Myers already able to screws up, pisses Moose off, and then one of them gets. But for me, it was going to be Eddie Edwards that gets booted out, not Myers. But still, that when we got to about this stage, you know, Kushida, you could see throughout the entire match, she was constantly, was he going to do it? Was he going to do it? So, and everyone was goading Kushida to do it too. So it was really, really a touch and go for that. I'd hate to be in Kushida's shoes now. I hate to see, I think Alex Shelley's going to not bitch slap him.
You reckon?
Yeah, but my God, you know, this match was amazing. I loved this match. It was match of the night for me. And
I thought it was great, and it was so
amazing.
fast as well at times.
It was,
a lot going on. It was a lot going on. A great story being told, and I get it, Barry. Of course, I don't want everything to make sense. But anyway, so Moose retains his TNA World Title, so that's all done and dusted. Moose moves on. Ash by Elegance is then sat ringside for the Knockouts title match in her own little swivel chair, which was quite cool. So we're going to go into the Knockouts Championship match: Jordan Grace versus Giselle Shaw. Grace chases Shaw around the ring. Shaw attempts to dive, but Grace cuts her off with the elbow. Grace hits a fall-away slam on the floor. Shaw uses the referee as a shield. He then uses the opening to drive Grace into the turnbuckle. Grace bounces back with a series of power slams, followed by an innovative spinning slam for two. She soars with a twisted corkscrew off the top. That was good, but
that was amazing.
It's not enough. Shaw counters a juggernaut driver into the Spanish fly off the apron.
That got me thinking of Johnny Impact and Brian Cage. Every time I see someone jump doing that off the ramp, I immediately think back to then. It was just so painful to watch when Impact and Cage did that, but then there's no ramp for Jordan Grace to get smashed into like it was. But still, it just reminds me of that moment.
That's the move of the night for me.
Yeah. That was incredible.
Awesome. But anyway, Shaw tosses her back into the ring for multiple 2 counts. Shaw goes to the denouncement, but Grace counters into the spinebuster. Moments later, Shaw successfully hits the denouncement, but Grace grabs the bottom rope to break the pin. The action is back and forth, with Grace gaining the upper hand. Grace spikes her with a juggernaut driver to retain. Wow. This was a contender for match of the night for me. As one-on-one matches, this was for me. I enjoyed this one just as much as I enjoyed Josh versus Gotch. I mean, I would say that technically, the Josh and Gotch was probably technically a better match, but this match was exciting, man. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was fantastic, and the Knockouts once again prove that how good they are. And man, this was a really, really good match. And if you missed it, you missed a hell of a match. But that's where I'm at that one. And of course, Joe, you just had your say. What were your thoughts, Craig, did you enjoy this? Was there any standout moments for you?
Oh mate, like I'm totally with Joe. Like that Spanish Fly, I was just like, I think because the match was flowing quite well.
Yeah, it flowed really well.
Yeah, to see him move like that, like off the apron onto the floor, and like we can say like, oh, there's mats and stuff like that. We can say that kind of.
It's not
thing.
very thick,
But,
Matt. It's
no,
the match is this thick.
Exactly, So we can all go like, oh yeah, it's set up and stuff like that. But to commit to doing something like that could potentially end both their careers, it was completely out of the blue because I thought something else was going to happen, and they'd done that, and I was just like, what? It was, and I think that's what I love about the talents that we've got in TNA, that they are still doing things that are unexpected and it's not too predictable, apart from PCO and Con.
Yeah,
I knew that was coming.
Jordan Grace's response to this on X when the clip started was "fuck, this hurts."
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, after the match, Ash by Elegance is seen marching out of the Impact Zone with her personal concierge.
I love Iceman. I just want to throw his name into the mix there. Iceman is doing us a great service, and I hope that he's with TNA for years to come. I hope that he isn't just wasted as some background character. I'd love to see him as a third man on commentary or something.
I agree. I mean, there is a possibility of that, but we've already had this conversation. It needs to be a female. Backstage, and this is what I was talking about before when I was saying the way that there was promos and stuff in between matches that weren't related to what was going on that night, as such, kind of, but not, if you know what I mean. So in this case, we've got a talent who is potentially vying for like the X Division Championship in the future, but he wasn't specifically involved in the match. So we get Jake Something notes that for the first time since 2005, an X Division Championship match will main event a premium live event. Something we'll be watching, as he claims that 2024 will be the year he becomes the X Division champion. Okay, so I really like the way they did this, and we're all big fans of Jake Something right here. So it could happen. You never know. So X Division Championship main event: Chris Sabin versus Mustafa Ali.
I love this match.
Joe loves that. He absolutely he loves that soundbite. We get that.
I do.
A couple of times. Normally we get that a couple of times in a show. But anyway, let's get into this match. All right. So Sabin ties him up in a surfboard submission pretty much straight away. Ali breaks free and disrespects Sabin. Sabin explodes with a running clothesline. Sabin picks Ali off the apron with the head scissors to the floor. Back in the ring, Sabin takes him down with a top rope crossbody. Ali turns the tie with a 450 splash to the arm of Sabin. Moments later, Sabin creates an opening with a snap German suplex. Sabin hits his signature tornado DDT for 2. Sabin locks in the crossface, but Ali makes it to the bottom rope. Sabin pulls back on the submission out of frustration. Sabin caught in midair with a dropkick. Sabin avoids the 450 splash, then sends Ali crashing into the turnbuckle. Sabin wipes out Ali's security with a crossbody. That was cool. From the top rope. After the protected Ali at ringside, the good hands make their way to the ring to distract Sabin. Ali rolls up with a handful of tights for 2. Sabin hits the clothesline from hell. I like the way they say that. Oh, how could Sabin hit a clothesline from hell, for God's sake? Anyway, well, I suppose so. Oh, yeah, but hell or hail. That's it. He hits the clothesline from hail.
There you go. Not hailing Cornwall. Yeah. Hailing Cornwall. He hit him with a pasty smash.
Followed by a cradle shock for a very close near fall. Ali counters the top rope cradle shock into the sunset flip. Ali connects with the 450 smash to win the match and become the next X Division champion. Now, one thing I want to quickly note, obviously I haven't mentioned yet, was the entrance of Mustafa Ali, where he got his security and they were all like, doing all this. as they were coming out. I thought it was brilliant. Really cool. I like the way they're sort of kind of the storyline is all being kind of followed up. I'm a big fan called of Mustafa Ali. I'm a big fan of Mustafa Ali. I'm a big fan of the X Division. I love this storyline, and I am very pleased that Mustafa Ali is moving forward as the X Division champion in 2024. However long that lasts, I'm not bothered. I think this is a real cool move, and I'm excited to see where it goes. What about you, Craig? What do you think?
I think, like, I totally agree with you. Like, Mustafa Ali, he's worldwide known, and the fact that we've got him in TNA, for however long this time is, we're going to see the best side of him. I like his character. I agree with you. Like, the security thing gave me a bit of a throwback to. I was a big WCW fan, so the old Goldberg entrance.
Yes,
like
that, I saw that as well.
So that was a nice touch. But the fact that I've not seen a lot of Mustafa Ali outside of TNA, I won't lie, but the fact he's come in and he doesn't look like he needs any assistance. He can come in and own it. He could go into that ring, be in there for 5 minutes by himself, and he would hold the crowd. He's everything. And I think that I'm glad that he's with us in TNA. I hope that it goes on longer. But, I will follow him wherever he goes after his stint here.
Yeah, I agree, because I think, regardless of anything, this guy is pretty awesome. I got a lot of time for him. What did you think, Joe? As this is main event, what did you think?
Yeah, he was absolutely incredible main event. And my God, did both of these men put on a hell of a show. Kudos to both of them. Mustafa Ali, this is the first time I've seen him in the ring, and he was incredible. 450 splash is one of my favorite finishes ever, and to see anyone pull it off is just amazing. But and he did that onto Chris Sabin's arm. That made me cringe so much. Just God, my God! And then it was so brilliantly put together, this match.
Can I throw in a throwback? Can I say? Do you reckon? That this Mustafa Ali character and this storyline that he's got, do you reckon that that's the one that EC3 was meant to have all those years ago when we were voting for EC3?
I think it was. I think Mustafa Ali is in a way is playing off of that a bit as well, because that got everyone over so much, and Mustafa Ali is also playing on that. It's also the election year in the US, so he
should have just come in. He could have been EC4. Why didn't we think of this? God damn it.
Good to see Gibb joined us. Hey, Bud, thanks for joining us. I think this was a great match, and I think a lot of people didn't think that Mustafa Ali was going to win. They thought this was just a one shot match kind of thing. But no, I think this has got a lot of legs, and I think he's going to be around for a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. Now, Mustafa Ali obviously celebrates in the ring, has no surrender, then goes off air. So that was it. That was No Surrender, guys. That was our review of No Surrender today, and I think it was a great show, and I think TNA proved that moving forward, we've got nothing to worry about. If that's anything to go by, I think this set of tapings coming forward will then hopefully solidify that as well. So I think this is going to be great. Now, guys, listen. Before we go on, we need you guys to hit that thumbs up. You need to hit that thumbs up button. You need you guys to share the show as much as possible. Thumbs up is very important. We need the thumbs up buttons. Yeah. And we need you guys to share the show. Help us move up those rankings on YouTube. It's really important. And if you feel flush, like Swagfan did earlier,
thank you,
please feel free to hit those super stickers and so on. And they're always very, very welcome, and we do appreciate it. Okay, because these promos, these new opening, videos and new logos and all this kind of, it all costs money, So it's all good. So we do appreciate it.
Okay. Ali's post-match comments. What did you guys make of that? His praise to the locker room, the fact that it's his first major title in 20 years.
Yes, that didn't happen on No Surrender, but they released it afterwards. Yeah, no, that was cool.
That was so. That's just amazing. You know, I don't know how long he was at WWE for, but my God, if it's been 20 years, and he was a potential big star in WWE, and they didn't give him any gold, then they really didn't do him any favors. He's one of these guys that could have been the top star at WWE if the right people were in place.
Exactly. I mean, he's proven already.
Yeah.
He's a draw. I mean, the crowd were well behind him. You know, so let's see. I mean, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see where it goes.
Well,
and
thank you very much to the E for fucking it up.
Yeah, definitely. Now we get him. So we'll look forward to it. Now, guys, looking forward to TNA Impact this Thursday, tomorrow night.
Can't wait.
We've got the is it the inauguration celebration of Mustafa Ali? So we've got that to look forward to. We've got Mike Bailey versus Steve Macklin. So obviously that's
that'd be amazing. Yeah,
No Surrender. We've also got Laredo Kid versus Jake something. That's a rematch, I believe, from Explosion.
That might be a burial.
Could well be. But we've got that to look forward to. We've then got the in-ring debut of AJ Francis. He's going to be teaming with Diener versus Joe Hendry and Rich Swann. Now, see, this is what I was saying. You know, the promo, the segment backstage where AJ Francis sort of said, you know, we might be opponents, but, you know, it doesn't mean we have to be enemies, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I actually think Rich Swann is going to turn on Joe Hendry and join AJ Francis and Diener.
Yeah, I was thinking that when he left off that short pause, just leaving the camera on Rich Swann, then
you could see he was like, well, maybe, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see.
You know, we saw him try to almost do something similar when Sammy Callahan got him back into OVE when Dave and Jake Chris were there and Fulton was there. You know, we thought Swann was going to turn then. And then he turned his back on OVE. You know, that in the massive betrayal moment then. But I think this would be now Swann is going to go full-blown heel if he is going to swap sides. He's not going to just pull a fast one over like he did then.
Yeah, man, possibly. But you say full heel. I don't think AJ Francis is a heel. So I don't think he would be going heel as such. He's just going to turn on Joe and just join AJ Francis. Whereas, but I don't know. I don't think AJ Francis is a heel at all. He's coming across as a genuinely nice guy. And
it's weird with AJ that, like, you know, obviously it's going to be his in-ring debut this week, but like this is one of the first times in a long time that a character's come into Impact or TNA and they've won me over before they've even had a fight.
Yeah,
there's something about him. He's got that presence. That he's just the whole thing, you know. And I'm really looking forward to it. To be fair.
It's interesting because, like you said, I mean, we're you know, he's winning us over before he's even got in the ring, and here's the thing. I mean, you know, yes, you know, there was a couple of moments in WWE where he made a couple of mistakes or there was an accident or whatever. I mean, there is I don't know how true this is, but the where he made that mistake when he went over the top rope, apparently he was like concussed or something.
Yeah, he's unwell.
Or he was unwell or something. He had something go on at the point that he was doing that, which caused the problem. So sometimes you've got to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And you've got to give them a chance to sort of kind of like potentially redeem themselves or show what they are actually made of. And the thing is, like a lot of people say, WWE never allowed him to talk. Stupid, you know, because like clearly he's a good talker, really good. And a lot of Gibson was just saying it there in the chat. Look, quite like AJ Francis, very good talker. He is a good talker. I'm not going to lie. So I think we could see
his choke slam,
some good stuff. Oh, mate, Jesus Christ, he gets it right above his head.
Yeah,
and
that's
really a massive dude. He's a massive dude.
That's like old school Big Show choke slam.
Yeah, but he's not quite as big as Big Show, is he? What has he got?
No, but
6. I reckon he's about 6'6", 6'7". Do you reckon?
But the height that he just sent Joe Hendry when he lifted him out, that just reminded me of watching the Big Show lift somebody up when he did the choke slam old school style.
So well.
I agree. I think it's one of the best choke slams I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I mean, Gallows used to do a pretty good one. But
Yeah.
that is amazing. But there you go. So we then go in and we've got the system versus EY and ABC. Now this is a bit of a weird combination. I'm sure we're going to find out how this has come about. But again, I think this is sort of kind of setting up the system. So the system's going to be Moose, Myers, and Edwards versus EY and ABC. So we got like a 6-man tag thing going on. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens on that one.
I can see that the system are going to be good because Moose is still champion. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers are going to want the payoff for it now. So Moose says, "You guys go for the tag team titles while I go for it young," and that's definitely what it's going to build into at least.
Well,
it could just be because the ABC are the top babyface tag team. EY is now the top babyface in the company.
I can't see GYV staying out the back during that match. I reckon GYV are going to come out and assist the system in some shape or form, and I would probably say an outside chance that they will join the system, or they would be friends with them because that would be quite dominant force.
That would. But maybe they should form the Liverpool Fight Club.
No,
not on for that.
No, I've got no time for that.
Okay.
No, can we edit that bit out?
It was just suggestion. Just suggestion. I mean,
poor suggestion.
Okay, sorry. We've also got Zaya Brookside versus Tasha Steelz 3. So we've got the rubber match. That hasn't actually been advertised, but it was discussed, obviously, from Tasha Steelz herself, setting that one up. So that's what we've got advertised at the moment. There's probably, I reckon, there must be something involving MK Ultra. There must be something involving MK Ultra possibly in there as well. But again, that probably some of that develop during the show. They always have an extra things. They always have something developed during the show that isn't advertised. So I'm sure that's where that'll go. But so an interesting show.
Danny Luder and Masha Samovich are facing off against each other. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
Okay, well, maybe that's what it is then. I've not seen that. Barry Monkey saying that AJ Francis was never the best wrestler. He's sort of an average wrestler, but he's a good character worker. So he's perfect for like a faction leader.
Yeah,
and I think that's probably what they're doing with
WWE.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, anyway. But guys, listen, it's time is against us right now. So that's all we've got time for this week. Also, if you want to show your support for TNI UK team, please feel free to super sticker us like SWATFan did earlier, or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links, of course, are below as always. I also believe that you can do that via our shop. I think it is on our YouTube channel. Go and check that out. All TNI shows are available to all of you Listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you list your favorite shows. We are there. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can jump onto the Twitter or Xbox and look for @JOKEmpty_space. Jump on Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Look for #EmptySpace, #IntoTheVoid, or if you fancy to take your tastes and you sense him at #DailyGiggle, but approach the neighbor mind, you just might keep your sanity.
Fair play. And what about yourself, LimpstarUK?
Like it says just about there, LimpstarUK on Insta, on Facebook, on TikTok. And if you are feeling a bit wild, then have a look on SoundCloud and just type in Limpstar on its own. And I uploaded a mix last weekend of just some. Do you know what? I found a load of old CDs and I've got some CD decks, and I thought, let's just put these together. So that's on my SoundCloud at the minute. But like Joe said about his, have an open mind, because you probably won't like it, but you might enjoy it. You never know.
I reckon you will. Guys.
It's good for the gym. It's good gym music.
Is it really? I might go and check it out then. But Zach, you're right. It's getting way too close to 2 hours for my liking. So thanks for joining us, Gary. I appreciate it. And yes, RIP Virgil. We did touch on that earlier. Yeah. If you're interested in following TNI on the socials, we're available pretty much wherever which all the social medias at We Talk Impact, whether that be Insta, Facebook, wherever you'll find us there at We Talk Impact. So go and follow us on all the socials. If you're interested in finding out a bit more on me, I am at Lord Bison 45 on the X. I am not on any other things really. Some people have found me on the Facebook. That's fine. If you can find me, good luck to you. But I am currently working on a TikTok thing. I'm at Bison by Design. So if you're not following me on TikTok, go and check that out at Bison by Design. I do a lot of stuff on there with my gym and all that kind of stuff there. Go and check that out. It's sort of a bit about motivation and all that kind of stuff. Trying to motivate people to get out there and get fit in 2024. That's what we're looking to do with that one. My big inspiration, of course, is my buddy Jake Christ. So if Jake can get himself in that kind of shape, I'm determined to end up looking like Alex Hammerstone. You never know. You never know. But anyway, go and check it out. TikTok at Bison by Design. I am there all the way. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. Again, we're talking about the thumbs up. If you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And of course, don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or even a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from TNI-UK and, of course, our friends over the pond in the US, teams-related obviously TNA-related content each and every week. It's what we do. We talk TNA. That's what we do. Okay, so that's what we do. And if you're a TNA fan, this is the channel you should be subscribed to. This one is the one, right? This is the channel for TNA.
Not,
That's disgusting.
There you go. Exactly. It's disgusting if you are not following this channel. But anyway, guys, with all of that said, I've been your host, Bison. They have been, of course, the LimpstarUK and the man known as the Joker. And this has been episode 170 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Okay. Take care, guys.
I beat Chris Sabin.